tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Hello there, I'm Dylan, aka the Wise Sith, and today we're going to be looking at a Star Wars figure that I finally found out in the wild. Um, it is, well, as I'm recording this, it is Christmas Day, so it's like 12 something a.m. right now, 12:30. So yesterday I was going to Fort Worth, Texas, to visit family, and on the way there, I stopped at Holocron Toy Store. Luckily, they were still open until 4. Just wanted to go in there and treat myself for Christmas gift, whatever. So as I was in there, I did stumble upon a figure that I wanted to get because I don't have it in my collection, and I figured I would do an unboxing video on it. But I did I did end up finding what is it called? An old 1984, I guess that's what it is. It's what it says at the bottom, so I'm assuming it's a 1984 because I've been looking it up, and some people say it's 1983. So I don't know which one it is. It says 84 on the bottom, but like when you look at parts and stuff for it, it's known as 1983. But then some people say 1984, so I don't understand what that means. So it's one of the two. But I ended up picking up. I ended up finding an Imperial shuttle Titarian for. It's not complete, but it's missing like I think 6 parts: the cockpit, the side hatch on the main body, the two front guns that are mounted on the body, not the ones on the wings. Those are still there, and I think it's the back turret. I think that's all it's missing. Yeah. Um, which honestly, I'm keeping it for my collection. I honestly don't care if it's like original parts or not. I know the original parts are like so expensive to get. They're like $50 to $80 a piece. It's kind of out there. So I've been looking to see if I can find like reproduction parts. So I've found some. So I'm thinking about getting them eventually. I don't really care that it's reproduction parts on there. I'm not selling it or anything. I want it for my collection because the Imperial shuttle is like it's always been one of my favorite ship designs, other than other ships out there. But it was always been part of my holy grail of to add to my collection and such. So I'm glad I found it. I found it for $100 even over there. When I saw that, I was like, shit, I gotta get that. Because, like, most of the time when I see it on eBay or like any other website, they're usually are like, for the condition it's in, the one I got, it's usually like $180 or more. And the ones that are usually less are missing like a wing or the middle wing. I can't remember what that one's called, like a balancer wing or something like that. It's usually missing one of the wings if it's like below 180. This is what I've seen so far. So I was like, yeah, I got to get that. So I ended up getting it. I'll put up a picture of it in the video right now. But yeah. But anyways, the figure I got is just a basic Phase 2 Clone Trooper from the Black Series. So yeah. So this is the front of the box. This is one of those newer Black Series where it's like it doesn't have the window on it, which I prefer the window so you can actually see what the figure looks like without having to worry about opening it up and then it not being decent. Um, but yeah, here's the front of the box. Of course, you got Star Wars The Black Series. You got like a 3D rendering of what the figure looks like. Star Wars, The Clone Wars, Phase 2 Clone Trooper, all that info. Hasbro. Here is the side art of the Clone Trooper. Of course, Phase 2 Clone Trooper. Here's the other side. And this tells you what's all included in the box. So it looks like it does have a removable helmet, which is good, and it has a DC-15E. I can't remember what the blaster is. They're both DC-15s, but one of them has like an E at the end. I can't remember which one's which. I think the blaster rifle is like that, or the blaster is like that. Well, they're both brass. Whatever. Here's the back of the box. Of course, you got Star Wars Black Series, another 3D rendering of it, and then here's the info of Phase 2 Clone Trooper. If you want to read that, you can. Include all the other languages if you can't read that. Number 14 from the series, all the other info. Of course, more info at the bottom, plus the barcode, and here's the top's nothing. So yeah, without further ado, let's open this bad boy up. All right. So, judging by the, as soon as I opened it, it looks like, for some reason, the legs look off. Hang on, let's see if I can show it to you. Like the feet. You see what I mean? This is lower than this one. Except this side is equal as this. This side's, but then when you try to tilt it and stuff, it's like you can still see it's weird. It's like one leg's longer than the other one. That's funny. Because it's wobbly. That's funny. It kind of reminds me of the other Phase 1 Clone Trooper I have. It's from the Archives series. But I have 2 Clone Trooper Black Series figures. I will be comparing them to this one. One of them's like an older one, and then the other one's like more newer one. Not really new, but like recent. And it's part of the gaming series. So yeah. So going by articulation, it looks like arms, they extend out from there and then down to there, and this is on a little flap, so it can articulate all the way up just like that, and you just press it back down. Let's see, elbows, it does look like, hang on, okay, so they're not double jointed elbows, which is kind of a bummer, but it is what you expect because the armor is going to be in the way anyway. So it goes about right there, almost a 90-degree angle, and then extends out just literally 180. Wrist. Hang on, it's hard to see in here. So the wrist, they do go up and down right here to there. And this motion, I think the other hand, yeah, the other hand's the same way, where it like it's on this point instead of right here. So it's a little bit different, I think. Yeah, because like most of the other figures, I'm used to the wrist bend this way instead of this way, so that's new. Okay, so that's as much as it can bend, and then it does rotate all the way around. Same with the biceps. It looks like they do rotate all the way around just like that. I don't think it can rotate. Yeah, it can rotate. In the elbow. All right, so there's that. Does it have? Hold up. Oh, so it's got butterfly joints. I knew something was familiar here. So literally, this is, I think this is the first clone trooper I have that has butterfly joints. I don't know if they have any others in like the Captain Rex or anything, but like it goes from there to about there. As you can see, it does. You can see you can extend it out right here. So yeah, it's got butterfly joints. That's interesting. I think that's honestly the first. I, Honestly, I think that's the first Black Series figure that I own that has butterfly joints. That's crazy. Because I've noticed they have them in a lot of the Marvel Legends figures. So it's like, when are they going to do it for the Black Series Star Wars? Come on. I guess they're finally listening to some fans. Interesting. Going to head articulation, it does swivel all the way around. It's on the ball joint. So you can look down just like that, and then look up just like that, and then head tilt about right there to about right there. Let's go ahead and take this off. This is removable. So you are set with a Tamora Morrison type face instead of a Clone Wars style face. Yeah, it's more Tamora than Clone Wars. So yeah, you got it is on a ball joint. Looks like the neck. Yep, the neck is also jointed as well. The bottom where the neck meets the shoulder, so you get that double bend posability. It is, yeah. So yeah, that's the articulation on the head. Put this back on. Actually, we'll just leave it off right now. Put it off. Ab crunch. It goes about from there all the way back there. You are limited because you got the belt in the way and the armor is in the way as well. Even though this armor right here is like I don't know if you can tell, it's like a rubbery type material, so it gives it more flexibility, I guess. That's interesting. Moving on to, okay, so it does turn in the abs as well. There is no hip articulation, it's just in the abs. So you can turn him all the way around if you're insane like that. Moving on to legs, they do kick out, and you got a lot of flexibility in him. Kick out about right there, kind of like a 90-degree angle, and then back about right there because you are being limited with the butt armor, with the thigh armor. They do split out about right there, which is different with a figure with a lot of armor on it. Okay, so it does have swivel thigh swivel, I mean. So it can turn about to there, outwards to there. And going on to the knees, I think, yeah, that's not double jointed. So you got the joint right here. Usually, if it's double jointed, you have a joint here and a joint here, and then you get the middle kneecap. But this is not double jointed, it's just normal jointed. This thing right here is loose, so I guess you can move it to have more bend in the knee. Just you have to keep like adjusting it back in place. It does have, okay, it does have knee swivel, just like that, all the way around. Okay. And usually they have it in the shins, but it looks like it's in the knee. I don't know if you see that. Yeah, it's right there. So it's got knee swivel. Okay, so going on the ankles, they bend from there all the way up to there, and they are on a tilt swivel as well, so they can kick out right there, all the way right there, and then they do rotate all the way around if you're insane like that. to do that. But that's it on the articulation. Going on to details. So first of all, I'm going to look at the guns, the blasters. Look at the details on them. And judging by the rifle, it does not look like it's painted different colors like we previously had before with the Phase 1 Clone Trooper from the archives. So I have it right here to compare it with. So this one, it's all one color. There's no weathering or no secondary color. But then you got the one from the archives, and it also appears, okay, interesting. It appears to be bigger, a little bit longer for the archive series one. So, okay. So you see what I mean? It's got two-tone colors. There's got two different colors. You got the light gray right here, and then you got just the basic black right here. I don't think it has weathering. No, it doesn't have weathering. There's blasters that do have like that metallic silver weathering to it, but as you can see, all one color on this. I'm sure it has to do with cost, cutting cost, because they have to include butterfly joints and all sorts of stuff. So I'm sure that's why they cut the cost of having to put paint on here. And probably they made it smaller because of cost, because this is what the one with the Phase 1 comes with. And as you can see, if you line it up, you can see this one's shorter than this one. And you can also see it is maybe a little bit smaller as well. It looks like it might be a little bit thinner too as well. But let's see if I can line it up properly. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the grip is like smaller. It's slightly smaller than this one, and it's a lot thinner than this one. You can see this one's thicker than that one. So, and you can tell the bottom piece right here, the scope looking thing at the bottom is it looks like they're about the same size except for the diameter. So yeah, that's it on the blaster rifle. We're going on to the other blaster, and I don't have a secondary blaster for this one, this model. I don't think. If I do, it's probably put away somewhere. I don't even think. Yeah, I think he did come with one. I don't know. I think he either came with this one or both. I can't remember. But like, same thing. It's all one color. There's no weathering. This one looks like it's warped. Going just like that. So that's it on the blasters. Going on to detail on the figure itself. Judging by the face, it is a sculpt of Temuera Morrison. So this figure is from the Clone Wars, but it's depicting live action form. So I don't know if you can tell on the helmet. Okay, it looks more live action. I didn't know if they were going to throw in like a little bit of Clone Wars features to it, because like when you watch the Clone Wars, the helmets are distinctly different from live action. Obviously, like this, the chin piece is more pointier and angled than this one. This one's more like smooth and round. And then you got the eyepiece right here. So it's like this is usually more pronounced on the Clone Wars, and then this one's usually more like relaxed, like more curved. So in live action, and there's many other things. There's many other differences in the Clone Wars and live action. But yeah, the helmet looks really nice. Honestly, it's nicely sculpted. It's nicely painted. I have no issues with that at all. You know, for example, if you compare it to like the Luke Skywalker and Stormtrooper disguise from the Archive series, the Stormtrooper helmet, it kind of looks a little off, kind of wacky looking. I'm sure because it's the early line of the Black Series 6-inch before they started getting a little more details in their figures. So that is good that this one has a lot of detailing in it and such. It is kind of like the same as the figure I have over here to my right, but like we'll compare it later. So moving on to the face. Yep, it is Temuera Morrison's head sculpt, and it's depicting kind of a similarity with a Clone Wars style head and hair, as you can see. Head sculpt's pretty nice. The paint job and eyes are really nice. You can see it's got some scarring on here, so it looks like he's been in battle. Going on to the armor, this is like a matte finish, so it's not too glossy like some areas. Like not glossy. I would say like more like a satin finish, like in the thigh and shin and all these armor. But like this, because it's like a rubber, it's more matte colored finished. But like moving on to the details, it's like nicely sculpted right here in this back piece, back plate, and they got the belt. I believe this is where like the thermal detonators are held, if I can remember. um, that's nicely detailed as well. The belt, all the compartments, pouches are nicely sculpted. This underbelly armor is very detailed as well, very standoutish. Of course, you got the cod plate. It's got the bezeled lines in it going to the armor and the thighs. The kneecaps, and then the shins, and then the feet, the shoes, nicely sculpted as well. So yeah, this figure is actually pretty good. I like this. My only complaint is the it just this leg feels like it's longer than this one, and I'm sure that's always been kind of an issue with some of the Black Series figures. Is one leg is usually longer than the other one somehow. I don't know how they attempt that to even happen. I've ran across multiple figures where it's like that, so it's like hard to pose them. So you got to like figure out how to pose them. Like, see this one, you just have to spread his legs out like that to there, and he can stand perfectly. I'm sure you can, if you want to pose him more and stuff, you have to work with that. But let's go ahead and compare them with the other clone troopers I have. So right off the bat, here is the phase one from the archive series. This is basically from like I guess the first wave of Black Series, either first or second, I can't remember, but you can tell because it's got the what's the word I'm looking for? The pins and the joints are noticeable. As for the new figures, you can tell they try to hide it now because like I guess that's been like a complaint about from fans out there that they don't want the pins showing because it kind of looks cheap, especially if you're paying like $25 for a figure. Gotta have something premium on it. But yeah, like comparing it to this guy, as you can see, like see how the plate on here is a little bit more glossier finished, and the armor is as well. I think the legs, yeah, they're a little bit more glossier. This one's got more like a matte finish feel to it, and then this one's more glossed. It's more like smooth. This one's got a little bit more grip to it, even though this is not rubber. Oh, yeah, it's kind of rubbery. This one's like more hard plastic. But as you can see, like the chest plate, I don't know if you can hear that. That's what it sounds like when you rub or scratch your fingernail on there. This one, it's very quiet because it's hard plastic. But yeah, this is the Phase 1 Clone Trooper Commander or Captain. It's one of the two. I know I get them both confused. Yellow and red. I get them. I get them mixed up. One of them is captain and one of them's commander. I think yellow might be captain, and then red might be commander. I can't remember. I'll put it in the bottom of the video. But that's what this one is. But yeah, that's what he looks like compared to them. So like you got the belt is sort of the same kind of sculpt. Let's go ahead and move this up. As you can see, it's kind of the same sculpt. This is thicker than that. The back plate back here is different. This one has more of a bezel around it, and this one doesn't. And this is more pronounced than this one on the detailings. Everything else, kind of similar because they do share kind of the same armor. Phase 1, Phase 2, it's just the helmet difference, and there could be something else. Yeah, the shoulder pauldron as well. These are usually longer than these ones. Feet are about the same kind of. But yeah, that's what he looks like. That's what he looks like with compared to the Phase 1. And then right here is the ARC Trooper from Star Wars Battlefront 2. This is the gaming series. So I was proud to get this guy at GameStop because I've been on the hunt for this guy for a long time, and I randomly found him at my local GameStop, and I immediately got him a long time ago, whenever he first came out. It's funny because like he came out and then he kept being sold out everywhere, so I was like, crap. And then one day I just randomly walked into GameStop next town over, and he was there, and I was like, okay, I gotta get him. But I don't know if anyone knows this who has this figure, but the helmet does come off. It's just it was glued on there. There is a face underneath, but it's not painted. You can see where the glue marks were on here. So yeah, it does have a head sculpt underneath that's unpainted. So if you wanted to carefully take this helmet off, have at it. If you want to paint the head, you can. I think I might want to paint that one day. But yeah, little did you know if you didn't know already. So it's like, cool. So yeah, the helmet does come off. It's just glued on there. It looks like they were attempting to have it where it could come off, but then they decided just to keep it unpainted and unfinished, and it just glued the helmet on. So if y'all didn't know that, now you know. So just be careful when you take this off because like the glue did kind of fuck up the sculpting right there. So I could probably fix that somehow, but like, yeah, just thought I'll let y'all know. So here he is compared to the ARC Trooper. As you can see, the armor is a little bit more different because this is an ARC Trooper. So he's got the backpack, he's got the comma. The belt's a little bit different. It is the same kind of sculpt of the belt, except he does have a different pouch back here and here. And then he's got the belt, or he's got the gun holsters on his comma and attached to his belt. And then the chest plate's different. It's more of an ARC Trooper chest plate. Of course, he's got the pauldron with the ammo pouch. And then the head sculpt, or the helmet's different. This is more of an ARC Trooper design where it has the Phase 1 style top piece, and then it's got the visor. No, I can't remember what it's called. Am I right? Visor? Drop down visor? Yeah. I thought there was a certain name for it. I can't remember. Um, but yeah, like literally the. Let's take this off real quick. It does look like, if you look at the face, it does look like they were trying to use this sculpt right here for this one. It does look like that. That's interesting. But comparing helmets, of course, this is a ARC Trooper style helmet, but like comparing it, because it is very similar to the other one right here, it does have similar designs to it. Because all it is a Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet, which is with just like two Phase 1 style pieces. But yeah, this obviously the little chin piece is a lot different though, and it looks like the two, I guess you would call it speakers, are different. They're a little bit more wider than this one, but it does look similar. So there's that comparison. And I think that's about it on comparing. The gauntlets are different. These are more ARC Trooper style gauntlets. And of course, you got your typical Clone Trooper design. The feet are a little bit different. Even the shin and calf armor is different. But yeah, I hope you liked this video. Stay tuned for more. Also, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays and a Happy New Year. And be sure to like this video and to subscribe as well. And stay tuned for more. And may the force be with you always.